first off, Shawn, congratulations on getting to the postseason with the Buccaneers back-to-back years. I know that's a big accomplishment. When you think back to what allowed this team to make the postseason, what really stands out?
Well, it's the effort of our kids. I think our kids have done an excellent job all season. I'm proud of the way that they've come to work every day and continue to improve and get better. And, their work ethic and dedication to the program really is the reason we're where we're at. We have great kids here, tough kids, hard-nosed kids, and, playing our style of football that has got us in a position now where, we feel good about heading up here to Neshannock here in the first round.
So you have a record of 6-4, but you really stacked wins together early in the season, winning 5 of your first 6. How important was that now looking back that you got off to that good start and banked some of those wins early?
Well, I mean, I guess it's, last year we kind of banked them late, and this year I think we were very consistent. I mean, when you look at our season as a whole, I think we were a good football team the entire season, really. You look at our losses, our only losses really came to, a Sarah Catholic team that we were tied at the half with, and we had about a 4-minute stretch where we, gave up a big play and had a turnover that allowed them to kind of separate. Then you look at the Ligonier Valley game. I mean, Ligonier never stopped us until we had a touchdown called back on a hold, there. And then by that time, there was probably about 9 minutes left in the game, when they, and it turned, the game kind of turned their way. So, that's another one that certainly we were right there. Our kids played really well. And obviously the Steel Valley game, Steel Valley, no one's competed with them. And we certainly didn't either. But this past week, we dealt with a lot of injuries, and, we had our top 3 rushers out of the game, Shawn. We had our top linebacker didn't play beyond a minute or two. So, we really were kind of banged up there, but I was really proud of the way our kids battled Friday. We went down, took the lead 8-7. They're late in the game. I think there was about 4 minutes left in the first half, and they returned a kickoff on us for a touchdown. So, it was just one of those things where Apollo made some plays when they needed to. And, our kids battled tough, but we were just kind of depleted a little bit there on Friday. But so as a whole, I'm pleased with it. We've been in every football game. We've been competitive, and, we like where we're at right now.
Well, you highlighted that matchup against Apollo Ridge. And I know that, in terms of geographic proximity, there's some excitement with that battle. And it had some meaning because trying to figure out exactly where you would slot into the playoffs, but yet you knew you were in the postseason. So how do you kind of approach that, not wanting to have guys get injured who are key components versus wanting to win and finish strong?
I mean, it was senior night for us. We play every game to win. We wanted to send our seniors out on top. We unfortunately weren't able to do that. We have a great group of seniors, and they battled hard and, fought. And like I said, we're just behind the 8 ball there. But it's weird. Apollo, yeah, it's a geographical thing. But I'll be honest, we don't really view them as like a rival. It's kind of weird. Like our rivals are more Valley and Deer Lakes, and for our senior class here, they have not. They're probably one of the first Burrell classes in quite some time that in their 4 years they've actually never lost to Valley or Deer Lakes. We've been 8-0 against Valley and Deer Lakes. So that's something that, I think when you talk rivalries, that's more what those are kind of our rivalries. Now, maybe Apollo will develop into it. But we don't truthfully. I know they have that game slotted in as like the last game of the year, the rival game. But like we have a lot of respect for Apollo Ridge. I have a lot of respect for John Skiba and his program. Like I don't really view that game as like a rivalry, where I think those other games, there's actually like a dislike for those programs, those other programs I mentioned. So it's a little more fun maybe.
Well, so you knew you were in the playoffs, but you had to wait to find out your seeding. And when it ultimately came out, 13th seed, is that sort of where you thought you might be slotted in?
Hey, why not? You got a 13, 14, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. You got to win them all, right? If the goal is you go in and win. And, every team that's in this tournament is a good team. Every team that's in this tournament deserves to be in the tournament. And AA is difficult. I'm going to say this. We would have been in the 3A playoffs probably about 4 weeks ago. Just being point blank. I mean, 3A, if we were in our old conference in 3A, in my opinion, that was much weaker than the conference we're in now, actually in 2A. It sounds crazy to say that, but I feel this 2A conference is actually better football. I think it's a better conference. I think it's more competitive. I can promise you, you take some of those 3A teams that made the playoffs in 3A and put them into our conference, they're not making it. And I only know that because we've beaten those teams. We beat those teams this year, so it's one of those things where, you really sit there and you look at it and, there are opportunities, I think, where, any team can beat any team in this tournament, basically in 2A. So we're looking forward to it. Neshannock's a good football team, but we are going to be ready to go up there and give them our best effort for sure.
Well, you talked about the Lancers. When you look at them, and I'm sure you've now been able to really break down the film on Neshannock, what stands out?
Well, the quarterback play. They've got a really good quarterback. I mean, he's a true dual threat. Can throw the football, run the ball really well. They use him. He really is what makes them go in the running game. They're so well coached. They're really disciplined. They're tough kids. I mean, I'm familiar with Neshannock a little bit. When I was the offensive coordinator at Clairton, we played them up in the semifinals in 2014, and we were really good that year. We set the state scoring record, and they went toe to toe with us. We went to overtime. We actually ended up winning the game up, in the playoffs there in the WPIAL semifinals in overtime against them. And so I certainly know what their program's all about. I know what they're going to bring to the table, and I know the challenges that are going to face us up there. But we'll be ready for those challenges, and our kids, I think we have a great week of practice. I think they'll be excited about going up there. And like I said, we are going up there. We expect to win, Shawn. We're not going up there. You say we're the 13th seed. We're not going up there just to go up there for the ride. Like we're not going up there on a coach bus and having a pregame meal and, go up there, hey, we're just going to have a good time. Let's go ride up to Newcastle and, play Neshannock. We're going up there to win the football game. That's the way we believe. And we believe we will win the football game.
And to do so, what are the biggest keys?
Oh, obviously we have to move the football. With our style of offense, we have to be able to grind out yards. We have to be able to out physical them at the line of scrimmage, which is going to be a challenge. They're tough, hard-nosed kids. We've got to be able to win that battle at the line of scrimmage. We have to play mistake-free. Again, with our style, we can't have – when I say mistake-free, a lot of people think you mean turnovers. Like we have been pretty good about avoiding, turning the football over. But for us, it's little things. It could be a missed blocking assignment that leads to penetration where now they get us off schedule. Like we have to stay on schedule offensively. We have a 5-yard penalty could be detrimental to us. So we can't have pre-snap penalties. We can't have penetration, into the backfield. All those kind of things kind of will work against us for what we want to do. But we want to come out and play our style of football and, be able to hopefully get it to the half where it's a football game and then have a chance to win it in the second half. And again, it's going to be a challenge. They've scored a ton of points. They have scored a ton, they're averaging, I think, 40, 50 points a game. They're very explosive. They're probably the opposite of what we do now. They're kind of more like we used to be. They're very diverse in their offense. They like to spread it out, throw it, run it. They'll play some no huddle, obviously a no huddle team. But we bring a different style maybe that they haven't seen. So, we'll look forward to seeing how all that plays out.
Well, Shawn, thanks so much for doing this. Congratulations on getting back to the playoffs and good luck on Friday.
Thanks so much. Go Bucs.